Hi guys. I cannot believe that Halloween has passed and we are now heading into the holiday season. It is one of my favorite times of the year. I know it is for a lot of you. And I just get so much inspiration, not only from the holiday season and all of the festivities, but also just from the winter season in general. I just love the winter time and a lot of the activities that come along with it. I was looking at my winter inspiration Pinterest board, which is basically where I just put anything that makes me feel wintry, makes me feel excited for the winter, makes me want to romanticize the winter time, Christmas time included. And so I thought we could just have a little chat today and talk about all of the little things that inspire me around the winter time. I have my laptop here with my Pinterest board and just my list of things that I thought we could chat about today. So let's just jump right in. So this time of year, obviously, I love to stay inside and do a lot of cozy activities indoors, which we will get to. But something that I think we don't talk about enough is going out into the snow. And I feel like when I was little, this was something that was very natural to me. And I feel like as I got older, I kind of lost that desire to go out when it snows. I tend to stay in. And so something that I want to maybe normalize and do more of are like snowy winter walks. I am fortunate enough to live next to a park and to live in a walkable city. And so I just want to do more walks when it snows, really. It's very basic, but just snow is so beautiful if you time it right. Like if you go right as soon as it starts snowing or just like a couple of hours after it started snowing, the city looks so magical and your neighborhood can look so magical, and parks especially just look incredibly beautiful here in New York when it snows. And so I want to just push myself to go outside because I think those will be like memories that I hold with me forever. I just imagine like getting all bundled up, you don't have to look super cute, just get really cozy, maybe have like a tumbler of cider, hot chocolate, coffee, tea, whatever you may want, and just go for a walk and take in the snow because honestly, it doesn't snow as often as it used to. So I feel like we should just soak in the magic of the first snow and like big snows throughout the winter. Now, another thing that is pinned on my winter inspo Pinterest board a lot are just images of ballet. I get this urge to go see ballet performances when it gets colder, like fall and winter. I don't know why, I feel like those are the prime seasons for seeing a show. Obviously, around Christmas time, the Nutcracker is a really great show to go see, and I think the reason why I have images of ballet pinned in this board so much is because of the decadence of these shows. Obviously, if you think of the Nutcracker, the set design, the costumes are just so regal and decadent and sparkly and just cheerful. But I think on the flip side, so you can see the Nutcracker, see a show that's a bit more like cheerful, whimsical, but also for holiday season and just like throughout winter, I love to see the darker ballets that talk about like toxic desire and like doomed love and themes like that. I think are just perfect for the winter time. So two shows that I personally love obviously are Swan Lake. I just love the like muted like black and white tones of that show. I think it's so stunning for the winter time. And then also Giselle is another favorite show of mine, which has some more like haunting elements to it, which again is perfect for winter. Yeah, just like the feathers and the ruffles and the sparkles and the beautiful costumes. I just love that kind of thing during the winter time. And so it's always a treat to be able to see the ballet when this time of year comes around. And I would highly recommend it if you can get in a show every few years. It's just like such a magical experience that I literally will think about for the rest of the entire season after I see it. There's also something really cozy about like dinner and a show, whether it's the ballet or like a musical or a play, whatever it may be, the opera. It's so nice in the wintertime to like dip into a cozy little diner or restaurant, like get a meal with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends, like your bestie, whoever it may be, and then like going to a show together and then like talking about the show afterwards and what you loved about it. I just think that is such a nice wintry experience to have. It just feels very cozy to me. So something that I think about a lot this time of year. Now, I think this kind of transitions smoothly into the next thing that I love during the winter time, and that is anything like fairy tale-esque, especially like children's books. I don't know why when this time of year comes around, I want to read like very whimsical stories. I think there's just something about the winter time that activates my imagination, and I don't know why that is, but I love to read like, yeah, fairy tale, a children's book, a children's like series. So I have like a few examples here that I wanted to show you that I'm very excited about. One thing I would highly recommend doing is rereading series from your childhood that you really loved. And for me, that has included Harry Potter, The Chronicles of Narnia. And then last year, I actually reread the series called His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman, the first of which being The Golden Compass. This series, first of all, I think is quite underrated in terms of like children's fantasy, but also it's the perfect wintertime children's fantasy series because the first book, as you can see, takes place in a very like Arctic setting. I 100% would recommend this around the holiday season. It's so nice to just like open a series like these, bundle up next to the Christmas tree, and yeah, just dig in and read all night. Another thing that I'm bringing back from my childhood is the Disney fairies. I've had this book for a very long time, and I just remember flipping through this as a kid and just poring over the illustrations because they really are just so beautiful. And then another collection of books that I have been rereading is the Bramley Hedge series. This one is really nice because there's a book for every season. So obviously I can read the winter story this time of year. How cute is that? Oh my gosh, the picture on the back too. The next thing that I have on my Pinterest board, and I have a lot of this, is clothing that is reminiscent of snow. I have a lot of like beautiful beaded dresses pinned on my holiday inspiration board. Satin is another fabric that I just think is absolutely gorgeous and elegant for the holiday season. Chiffon is another fabric that is so fun and girly and whimsical for the winter time that I love. And I just have a lot of like flowy white dresses and long skirts pinned in my Pinterest board. Big bows, like satin bows. I don't know, I just love like decadent and girly clothing for the winter time. Another thing that I love to do this time of year is window shopping, because actual shopping during the holiday season is so stressful. In New York, obviously, like the displays on Fifth Avenue are world famous. I just love seeing the creativity that comes along with the winter season. So on the flip side of what I mentioned about going out into the snow, into the winter environment, another thing that I obviously love during this season is staying indoors and really romanticizing your home. And I think a lot of people feel this way. I really think the bottom line to this is investing in things that make your home cozy. So for me, that means stocking up on all of my favorite teas, having a lot of like large mugs on hand because I love to drink tea in the evenings while I read. Cozy lighting, so like having a lot of lamps and candles around my home has made the environment so cozy for me. Obviously, like thick rugs, knitted blankets, like thick blankets that you can throw over yourself on the couch, on the bed. Yeah, just really taking the time ahead of winter to make your space cozy so that you enjoy being indoors as much as possible and are able to romanticize reading at night, watching a movie, doing a puzzle too. I feel like that's a great winter activity, is finding a cute puzzle and working on that. So I can't talk about winter activities without mentioning reading. For me, winter is classics season. I don't know why, but when wintertime comes around, I just have this urge to read classic novels. I think it probably has to do with the romantic writing style that you find in a lot of classics, the themes of classics. And so I wanted to mention like two categories of classics that I love to read in the wintertime. The first, like I mentioned, is romantic novels. So anything that centers a love story, and it doesn't have to be like a happy love story. In fact, with classics, it tends to be more of like tragedy and like a haunted love that I enjoy reading about in the wintertime. So think like Jane Eyre or Rebecca, like more gothic love stories, I guess. I enjoy reading in the wintertime. And then also, I love reading books about girlhood in the wintertime. Again, I feel like this is just a time of year where I want to connect with my like inner child. And so I love reading stories about girlhood. The first, like the ultimate girlhood novel that comes to mind is Little Women. And I actually am planning on rereading it this year. I just love, I don't know, I love it for the winter time, and especially Little Women obviously is a great classic for winter because a lot of it takes place during the holiday season. So this is just a really great example. And then the other types of books that I love to read in the winter, I feel like this might not be for everyone, especially if you get seasonal depression, but I love to read like dark classics in the wintertime. There's something about like the barren outdoors, the cold weather that really makes me want to hunker down and read something dark and like very intellectual. I don't know why, but I'm just able to focus on these kinds of books more in the winter. So I love like reading philosophy. Russian authors are another like big one that I love to read during the winter. So like Crime and Punishment, anything Dostoevsky. There's a lot of Russian authors I haven't read that I want to delve into this year. And yeah, I don't know why. I just feel like I can focus more on more challenging books with intricate themes when it's the winter time. And I like to learn about like the darker side of humanity and what makes people like morally ambiguous. So yeah, that's just like the flip side to like the girly romantic novels that I love reading in the winter. And I think it's nice to have a bit of both. And then the last thing that I have on my Pinterest board is definitely more of like a life goal or like bucket list activity. And that is to go abroad on like a cozy romantic winter retreat to a location like I think of like Switzerland or like Vienna, but honestly not Vienna. I want to go somewhere that is more rural. Honestly, probably like a lodge vibe. So like in some snowy hills, snowy mountains where there might be like a quaint little Christmas market and you can stay in the lodge, drink some like hot tea. That is definitely a bucket list activity for me. New York can get pretty snowy, but I've never been anywhere that has a very intense wintry climate. And so I personally love the snow, and so it's something that I just want to experience one day. And obviously, I just think it's such a romantic thing to do around the holiday season. Just admire the lights, go shopping, wear your cutest like big coats. I don't know. I just think, oh my God, go to a spa. Yeah, that's the vibe. I'm manifesting this for myself one day. Yeah, so those are like all of the things that I'm really excited about this season. Yeah, I'm just such a lover of wintertime, and I find so much joy and inspiration in this season. I know a lot of people struggle with seasonal depression. Winter can be a difficult season to thrive in, and so I hope that this inspires you to think about the little things that might bring you joy this time of year that you can't really enjoy in the summertime. But yeah, I'm curious what brings you joy during the winter season, what you're looking forward to. Let me know in the comments below because I'm really curious, and I'm sure I can add a few more things to my list based on what you guys say. But yeah, thanks so much for joining me. Happy holidays soon, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye.